grip. I love it. Hey, Ash X. Hey, Ash 720. Hit me up after the stream. I want to talk to you about a couple things. EG, love seeing you early. Blaze, we got all you guys in here. Latavian, Rebel John, Rosotic, one of the OGs. I mean, I'm thinking 6 years of streaming. You've been hanging out in my streams. Good 6 years. So I will get you after the stream. If you don't now listen, the two people I just gave this count away to, which is Nut Trader X and O Mendoza, DM me again Monday morning if I don't get back to you. I always have a lot going on. I'm a little bit scatterbrained, and I tend to leave people hanging once in a while, and I'm the first to admit it. So let's get ready to rumble, and let's get ready to trade. All right. So, welcome everybody. Let me turn on comments here. See who my first comment is. Maybe I'll give away another account if people are commenting. Yeah, and trade the share on X, guys. Hook me up. Let's get some shares out here. So, as you remember earlier in the week, maybe it was last week, we had talked about these kind of key levels. It was way back here. We were up in this level here, and we had talked about how if we were to lose kind of this red line here, but really this little box right here, and I drawn the arrows and everything else, that we were going to shoot down this area very quickly. I talked about that, and we were talking about down to this area, right? Let me just pull this line down, and I'll show you exactly what we were talking about. We talked about this right here, that if we lost that key area, we were going to come down to this area here. And what happened? Not only that, where did we bounce, guys? That's the bigger thing at hand here. We'll get to our levels, everything else. Don't you worry, your cute little heads. But let's talk about what this really shows. And what it shows is, where did we bounce, guys? This shit, it's not happenstance. Liquidity clearouts are not happen to be type situations. It is truly the fact of you have orders sitting at these levels, because it's the last time we were at these levels. We're revisiting somewhere. So there's stacks, there's pools of liquidity that pile up at those levels. And those are areas where we expect massive bounces, or if we lose them, massive continuation type setups. And we had talked last week, we could go back, we could soundbite it, but we talked last week, and I drew this arrow. This arrow was not drawn today. I drew this arrow last week. We were up in this box, guys. And I said, if we were to lose this area here, that we were going to shoot through this zone very quickly down to here. And that's exactly where we bounced, guys. It's a thing of beauty. I mean, truly a thing of beauty. Let's check out a couple other things just for shits and giggles. Let me make sure we are on logarithmic. I want to see what the fibs did overall on this. Oops, didn't mean to draw it that way. On these true lows to highs of this full range from bottom to top. I have not done this at all, guys. Okay, but holy Emmer effing S. Holy motherfucking shit. Do fibs work, or do fibs work? I mean, This isn't pre-planned shit. This isn't like let's go back and like let's make Amy look good, like she knows what she's talking about, like she's some sort of savant and a genie in a bottle, and I'm Aladdin granting y'all wishes. That's not what the fuck we're talking about. We are talking about how holy shit Fibs is freaking amazing, guys. Amazing. All right? Like, come on. Come on. So when you're prepping for like, what do we do from here type shit, when we see something like that, it's still to this day, it's like falling in love. It gives me like, how like you got the boyfriend, it's all exciting and cute and this and that. And then, I know, because we're coming up on 26 years. We've been together since we were babies, like teens, high school. And like to get the bounce at both the major confluence of our last key level and the midpoint of the last 5 months. Like, come on. That gives me those first date jitters. It's like he just sent me a DM, like age, sex, location. Come on. This is the kind of shit that like my 15-year-old self with my little dial-up internet was like, oh my goodness. Anyway, I'm just trying to be funny. I'll stop now because it's overkill. But like, you can't be scared of the market, because when it comes down to it, when we follow what the chart is telling us to follow, this shit falls in our lap, guys. That's my spiel. That's my description. My settings on my Fibs. Let me show you real quick my settings on my Fibs. First of all, and everybody needs to listen to this and take damn notes on this. Go down to your corner on trading view right there. Make sure your shit is on logarithmic. It just got switched as I was moving around. That's fine. It's still the same level. Make sure your shit is on logarithmic scales. We don't want dollar scales. We want logarithmic scales right there, okay? You make sure that shit is on your logarithmic no matter what, all right? Second, if I click my Fibs, I've got all sorts of videos. If you're not part of the Discord, like check out our 7-day link. I'm going to do a small little grift here before we move on. Check out my 7-day link, even if it's just to watch our education, because it's the shit. It's the shit, okay? I use this and that's it. 0.25, not 238, not any of that bullshit. I have a 0.25, a 0.5, and a 618. That's it. Those 3 lines, that's all I want on my charts. I want my midpoint. I want my 0.25. I want my 618, the golden Fibs, also the catch-all basket of the 0.5. I don't want a 0.75 I would use, because my Fibs are kind of a variation of standard deviation. It's me combining midpoint, standard deviation, and Fibs. It's like the best of the 3. And because of that, this is all I want. Those are the only 3 levels I want. I don't add a 0.75 because the risk reward isn't worth it. It doesn't make sense. Just those 3, that's it. I don't use levels above the 0 line or the 1 line, because if I want an extension, I'll turn on Fibs extension over Fibs retracement, because once we break through either of those, we're in extension loan anyway. So those are what I use. Always make sure your shit is on logarithmic. Always make sure it's on logarithmic, not regular. And that's about all there is for that. So anyway, let's get to the charts here. I don't really need this Fibs on the 1 minute, so I'm going to click it. I don't need it for day trading. So visibility, I don't want this on my minute chart. I don't need it, because we know it doesn't matter. It's a long term. You're welcome. But yeah, DM me on X. Come check us out. I've got some free trials. I even have a 30-day if you're interested. Hit me up. I think our educational loan's worth it. All right, so let's look at some levels for today. I just wanted to hit on that real quick, because it is something we talked about quite a bit over the last several trading sessions. Where to expect to bounce, how we would have that kind of that sell-off flush, and how it did come to play. I might have to cut up a little reel with the before and after, but right now we're kind of chopping this morning. Overall, as far as Fibs go, our weekly range. Am I interested? Yeah, a little bit. I mean, Monday morning to the lows here, we haven't quite broke it, but let's at least be aware of that level. Oh, okay. Good to know. Hit me up. Maybe we could talk. We'll see. But anyway, right here. So yeah, like the Sunday highs, the overnight Sunday to Monday highs are somewhat we care about. But in general, this just the clean break of the last couple days is really where I'm kind of dialed in on, and just watching those levels here. If we go a little longer term, I've got this little box here. We don't necessarily need it, but I do want to be very aware of this level here. And we'll make these lines yellow because they're caution zones. And then really that's about it as far as levels I really want to be aware of. This is pretty much too close. And then from there, the 0.25 and the 0.5 really don't matter. Once we get up to like 29,000, cool, we'll look at it then. But for now, that's what I'm definitely focused on. Let's put that 5-minute back on and kind of dial in some zones for trading this morning. All right. So overall, like the last, week or so of trading, let me get my weekly. All right. And let's just see what we got going on. We have this little channel we did kind of break out of, as we could see. And other than that, it's been quite choppy overall, but we've had good moves within it. So it's definitely given us some decent moves. Last week, at market open and on the actual confirmation dump, we had like a 400 point sell-off, shit like that. If we were to put a fibs just on the last couple days, let's say a fibs from those bottoms off FOMC over the last 2 days of the buy action we've had, the price action we've had, that 20.25 does line up pretty well with like this kind of where we hit our head and bounced the last several days. So we do have a point of confluence right here that I'm interested in, because it is relatively lows for a couple days, was the 0.25 and was our initial rejection point yesterday. So this right here, I'm definitely a little bit interested in this area. Of course, it's not a liquidity area because it has hit that area several times. There's no pooling of volume in that area, but it is a key area I'm going to look at for continuation downside if we get there. Let's look what we have as far as any reasonable. So I'm talking about the hourly, any fair value gaps we want to dial in. Let me switch this visibility to, we want it on the 2 hours and up. Okay. So as far as fair values gaps go from yesterday, any bullish ones, if we have anything really sitting there, then we don't really. We have like a micro, no, not even. I mean, we don't have anything to look at as far as the hourly, no fair value gaps, nothing that really is catching my head. So I mean, overall it is, we got our London low, we have our overnight low from yesterday afternoon down here, and those are levels with low volume. So as you guys know, if you've listened to me at all, I don't necessarily give a shit about those overall. Not sure why my candles are not filled in. I want you guys to be able to see. There we go. I don't know why that got unclicked. So yeah, I mean, kind of just this little micro flag here. Our safest entries are going to be up at the breach of the 640, but on that specifically, we have to be aware that I don't want to like necessarily buy into strength. My key focus on NQ specifically is I would love to see a pullback into this 389 to 400, this box right here, and then a reclaim of the 440. That's really what I would like to see for a bullish entry, is kind of a second pullback right into this box here. and then taking our bullish entry at the break of that 450 or so right here. So we will put a neon green line there for our pullback entry, but we will also be pretty aware that the opposite as well. If we get a hard rejection at overnight highs and then start to sell, I would kind of almost look for the opposite, and right about 593 loss of that, I would look for the rejection sell as well. This is kind of one we have to wait and see. I mean, realistically, let me put on the daily. Let's see what yesterday's close was. Okay, so right at the box. Yeah, right where we expected. I will move this yellow line right to the box. There's yesterday's close. That's really what we're dialed in on. The rest is not anything too freaking excited. So we do have a daily fair value gap here, which is definitely interesting. Overall, let me pop on Qs to see if we had a gap down there real quick. I'm just curious. Okay, so yeah, okay, so really Thursday's highs, we do have a gap down there. Okay, so that's interesting. Let's go back to NQ. So yeah, I mean, there's nothing where I'm like, okay, I'm ready to just kind of pop in there. Let's get ripping. But let me switch back to the hourly here and see what we got for the upside for downside gaps. Is there anything we are kind of approaching for a full gap fill? I mean, and would you look at that? So we had this gap here, and that's exactly where we hit resistance overnight. Let me switch these line colors so you can really see what I'm talking about here. We'll make them fat daddy. There we go. So as you could see on the hourly, this gap we had right here is exactly where we did hit resistance as well. So this one did fill, and we're kind of floating at the midpoint, and the low of that gap is pretty much an area we're already aware of. So I don't need to hold on to that or keep it highlighted, but I do want to just kind of, squirrel that in the back of my head. I mean, it's really just choppy, guys. We filled that gap. Once we break our, 640, 635, 640 level, play up to the 763. So we got a couple hundred points there. It's big ranges, though. It's 130 points from overnight highs into this relative weekly high that we're talking about right here. So we've got great ranges to play. We just have a lot of chop within it. So I'm really just, we're going to kind of wait and see here. But I am looking at, as far as key entry levels, we're looking at this 593 break as a bull entry into obviously the overnight high, and then into 763 as a bonus target. And within that, I mean, we could pop a target here, but even that is it's really overnight low, no volume. You guys know I don't give a shit. Overnight stuff really I don't care about because there's no volume behind it. But in this circumstance, as a proper target, we'll add it on. So we're really kind of looking at those entries of 593 as like our risk on entry. So our risk on entry is going to be that break of that 593, and then play that up through, the 640, 697, 763. But really we would look at that high, pre-market high rejection, and then taking the short at the loss of that same exact level, that 593. And then vice versa on the other side. If we get a little bit of sell-off at the bell, we would look to pull back into this box, and then the reclaim of the 450 for the long. So we'll pull that up here for the reclaim for the long. We'll make that a little red so we know. And then really like 460 to 590. I know it's a 130 point range, but that range we're really going to kind of wait and see what the bell gives us before making a play. So let me keep my little arrows on and pull back into that box, and then the entry there. And I know that's nothing too exciting, but that's really ultimately what we are looking at specifically on NQ. Is kind of a wait and see while we're in this range and see how it plays out. We want to hit the top or the bottom of the range with a nice bounce on either direction or loss of those targets. But we're right square in the middle, so the risk reward right here doesn't necessarily make sense for a great trade. Does anyone have any questions before I continue on? So yeah, if anyone has any questions about the charts I already went over, please feel free and ask. Let's pop up some options accounts, options charts as well, because that's what we do around here. We trade a little bit of both until we get a mass exit of demand one way or another. We have a lot of options traders in the Discord. We have a lot of futures traders that love to check out our streams. So we split it both. Palantir is absolutely squirrely this morning. Holy shit. And it pulled right back. So that's definitely interesting. Definitely what I'm interested in. And it's Friday. So we got 0 DTEs. Everything this morning is cooking red hot. Be very, very careful. Very careful because of that. So as we can see on Palantir, we talk a lot about that, like kind of like that line where it's like, yeah, you could draw a channel, but really like midpoint, the walk and the dog. And on this Palantir chart, it's kind of like, okay, we always kind of come back to right there. It's like the walk the dog zone is right here. And we always come back there. So, it's like, that's the middle of the sidewalk that we always end up coming back to. So off that, we look for those. And that's kind of almost what is like the entire basis behind wick off accumulation and distribution is that. So yeah, that's what we're looking at. We did have a nice little pop here. So it could secondary break of, pretty much 124, 123.90. I might be interested at that point. We will definitely wait and see. I don't think I'm necessarily interested on shorts on Palantir. I could be. We'll see. I'm feeling a little bullish today. I don't usually like to really heavily lean one way or another. I'm very open for either way. But what a decisive bounce we did take. And now I'm going to go back to it real quick, guys, on NQ. For everybody joining late, shame on you, first of all. And second of all, do you guys remember, look at our daily. Do y'all remember me saying on our daily, for everybody joining late, that if we lost that area last week up around 27,850, that we were going to shoot down through the 27,200 fast? Look where we bounced, guys. Look where we bounced. And also, everybody that's joining late, draw fibs from the lows of 23,273 to the highs of our all-time high. We bounced right at the freaking 0.50, guys. So everybody joining you late, for me late. First of all, shame on you for joining late. But second of all, look at that. Look at the perfection of where we freaking bounced and everything we talked about last week. Shame, Aunt Stu. Shame, shame, shame. I need an apple pitcher to cheer me up. So anyway, I just wanted to hit that again because it's so damn important. All right, back to our charts. But I mean, it's pretty incredible that's exactly where it bounced, was that 0.5 and the exact point of confluence. Okay, deal. I'll pull up that Apple chart. You got it. So Tesla, I'm looking about 310 for possible entry. Breach of yesterday's high a day. Tesla had a nice day yesterday. It was a little choppy, but it did have some oomph behind it. Kind of. Nothing crazy, but I think Tesla can start to catch a bid here coming up soon. We are through earnings, et cetera, et cetera. So we'll wait and see. We did swing a little bit of NVIDIA. All right, there we go. So Tesla, I'm really kind of just watching that. high day yesterday. So 311, a kind of a break of that. And then it's like downside. I'm really need to see us kind of approaching sub 307 to be interested. We are going to take it slow today overall. Next week, oh my goodness, I cannot wait. We have so many swings. I am ready to just put on the spindle and tell them to pay me. And that's what they're going to do. So we did take NVIDIA overnight. I don't even know. Well, yeah, we're green. Okay, we're green. That's good. We likey. We likey. A little short term just to dip our toe back in the pool. Back in the pool. So that's what we did. We are so NVIDIA is above yesterday's highs. We like that. I don't want to see a sharp sell candle. I don't mind a pullback into yesterday's low a day. And then on top of that, getting a nice bounce. I don't mind that. That's fine. I don't want to see us pulling back into like yesterday's closing print. Let's identify that real quick. Let me just pop a line on there so we have it. I'm going to pop a liner on there. Yesterday's close. I just am curious where it is. Okay, here we go. There we go. We'll make that yellow. All right. Okay. So I don't want to see us pull back past yesterday's close. That for me, that's kind of worst case scenario. We really don't want to see that. If we can pull back into 196.30, because I always talk about those like pullback bullish trades too. Pull back into yesterday's close into this box here, and then a re-break. I also do like calls at that point. Anything past that, not great. And then 195 is kind of I'd be looking for puts level coming into there. So that's what we got on NVIDIA. We got to pull up Apple, I have Palantir pulled up too. I'm very interested, but I got to see what Apple's doing. And then we'll decide from there. What do we have left? Oh, we got 4 minutes. Plenty of time. Oh, boy, look at that bearish pattern on Apple. Apple made a liar out of me. I said 350 within 30 days, probably on the stream. I believe I said it. And I said it when it was around 300. So I'm quite proud of that bold prediction. And yeah, we'll see here. We'll see overall. I trying to decide. Oh, Apple at earnings. Never mind. I'm not even sorry. Not today. Not today. We're not. I totally forgot about the earnings. 9% loss on earnings. All right, back to Palantir. And then I know Amazon had earnings very, very strong out the gate. We will check that after the IV gets a chance to kind of cool. Things NVIDIA dip rip off previously high had to happen before opening. Yeah, I mean, I want to see, that NVIDIA trade really play out here. It's looking great. It's approaching pre-market high right now as we're speaking. Very, very nice little pop here. Protect, trim, even if it's only 20%. Trim a little of that August 21st NVIDIA, guys. It's never a bad idea to trim in these type situations. If it's ripping off the bat, don't instantly trim it. But also on top of that, if it's tanking off the bat, it's okay to close it. Lance, I'm talking to you. It's okay to close it at break even. Even if it pushes up again, fine. That's fine. Cut the risk part first. Like any trade we take, first step is not even my price targets. What's my mask risk? What's my mask loss profile on this? What is my risk threshold? What am I willing to absorb? That type of thing. That's like the first kind of thought, especially in kind of like an overall sketch type market in general. I really try to be there first. Let's pull up Microsoft. Palantir isn't sexy. Palantir 124, cool, guys, just so you know. But I want to look at a couple more little things here just to see. Because, I like this way more here. So let me get rid of this fibs. All right, so Microsoft, really looking at kind of the 453 pop on the longs. And then obviously yesterday's high a day, a trim level, and then into that, the continuation. We've cooled off from earnings. That's what we kind of want to see. All right, I'm out of time. Let me pull up my contracts and let's get ready to rumble here. We got Tesla, we got NQ, we've got NVIDIA, we've got everything else. If you're late to the party and you don't know the entry points for these, tap on the YouTube stream, rewind it and watch. I don't have time to go over them again. Usually I do, but I went over every single one very, very, very specific. So just pull it back and look at it. All right, we open. Let me queue it up. Let's go. All right. So I'm still up 30% here. We opened about over 45% on that NVIDIA. Sorry, got a little quiet. I had to take a trim on that. But I'm still up 30%, so I will freaking take it. Nice little trade. All right. I've trimmed that just to protect myself. Everybody should be up pretty nicely there. Microsoft did hit that last minute trigger point I just gave. Our midpoint of our break candle is pretty much at that 452.50. So there we go. Tesla as well has got our confirmation for a fill. And again, please, guys, follow the charts and be ready on whatever chart makes sense to you. Is all I can say about that. Because I don't want you waiting on me. I might be on a different ticker. I never alert what I do not take. And you got to be ready to go and have your stuff queued up. I mean, that was literally a 90% candle on Microsoft. So just please be ready on those type of things. Speaking of, NQ is already at target 1 of our 28,593 entry. Already about 56 points there. Again, I do not trade futures the first half hour. I trade options. But for everybody who's on the stream and listening, you know our entry was 28,593 on the break. Okay. Now let's get this to actually be able to take a trade. Since I was trimming. We missed some sheet. All right, guys. I've got Tesla queued up, ready to rumble. Of course, these are all high risk today. I know, again, like I said, I'm very bullish on everything. There's 98 points on our NQ entry. I gave exact entry of 28,593. I gave exact entry of 28,593. There is 100 points. Please trim if you were in the NQ long. Please trim. I gave exact entry on that for after the bell entry of 28,593. I went through, you can go back, rewatch. I went through it the entire first 20 minutes of the day, exactly how to play that chart. And we have hit 2 targets on NQ. And it should not matter what I made on the trade. All that matters is what you made on the trade. And I have 2 hands. I cannot take every single trade. But let's freaking go. Oh, look at NVIDIA starting to cook too, guys. Look at NVIDIA starting to cook, all my swing trade holders. She cooking. She's cooking. She's trying. Yeah, 48%. I have sold half my NVIDIA, 48%. Everybody better have taken some risk off on that because we know what kind of market's been. All right. That was my big focus this morning, was to take a little risk off that NVIDIA. I'm happy. I'm 50% on that. Let's freaking go. Let's freaking go. All right, here goes. Here comes our Tesla. Our chump ass chaser entry is about 45% here. And NVIDIA's, oh, there we go, baby. Lance, lock up some profits, big boy. Please lock up some profits. One trade at a time. We walk 100 feet into a cave. We got to walk 100 feet back out of it. Let's go. It does not, do not think of it as, oh, if I had held it all day, I could have this, that, the other. No. We are all about taking care of a healthy portfolio. I am down to 20 of my 210 August. I am down to 20, 59%. I'm down to 20 contracts, 59%. I'm in 0 day trades at the moment. Just an FYI. I had to focus on taking a little risk off of this NVIDIA. Oh, by the way, that's 130 points NQ. 130 points NQ entry. 130 points in NQ. And I know all you that have been here since the beginning heard exactly how we're playing that. And there's Microsoft. The Microsoft pullback entry, please trim. Please trim Microsoft pullback entries, guys. And Tesla kind of crappy chasing in entries, please trim those as well. Please trim both. Key level $200 on NVIDIA. I am stop loss break even. I will not let 1 penny of red on the trade. And anyone who's in listening, we had a NVIDIA swing. 821 NVIDIA swing. So I had to focus on updating that first. But in general, about 130 points here. I would slide NQ runners up to the 650-ish level. No, 640 up to target 1. We have hit 2.5. We have came halfway to target 3. I do expect profit taking. I don't expect a knife. That's just the full reality of the situation here. We can't expect the profit taking, though. All right, now we wait and see. Microsoft isn't pulling back at all with everything else. Microsoft's holding well and coming off of a pretty bombastic earnings. Let's wait and see how that plays out. But Microsoft calls are in my queue right now, the 465s. Partial entry, guys, meaning half of what I usually buy. Half of what I usually buy on that. Let's put fibs on the NVIDIA little pullback here because it was a nice range, even though it's only a couple candles. Let's find out the midpoint of low to high on the day. Just because we want to know. There we go. And we got 65%. I'm happy. Like at that point, when we have 65% on a swing, even if it pulls all the way back, I'm okay with that. Do I want it to continue on? Of course I do. Of course. Microsoft is not pulling back with tech. We'll see where it's going to go right here. High volatility overall, though. Let's pop on the hourly and see what key level we are kind of see. Yeah, yesterday's highs. Okay. But after that, I mean, we really got nothing overall. So it's just really those yesterday's highs that we are dialed in on Microsoft. And remember, the longer we sit somewhere, I consider it continuation versus reversal. The longer we sit at a major point here. Everybody should be out of all. We did set the runners at the 45, 645. So obviously everybody should have hit the runner cash out on NQ. NVIDIA is sitting right at the golden 0.5, whatever the F you want to call it, the honey spot. Let's see if we could pick up anything there, or if we don't, I am very happy with the swing trade. 60% or so plus. No fucking complaints from me. This should be a hard bounce spot. Big candle there. Big candle off that 0.5618. No guarantees it continues, but it's checking our boxes. There we go. Nasty candle. Nasty. That's an insta trim if you took that bad boy. That's literally 45% off that 0.5 ounce. Trim the shit out of that, guys. Slide that stop loss to break even no matter what. Yo. See, and it comes right back. That's why especially on 0 DTEs, if you take those type of positions and you get that, that big candle, the massive candle like this, you have to insta chop some of it right away, because what happens is usually I would be looking for it to take 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes to get to that 0.25 and then continue on to the full retrace. But when it happens that quickly and it comes down that quickly, you've got to prep for that downside and be prepared for it. I did not take NVIDIA there. I always let you know every single thing I take and fill. All I'm in here is Microsoft at $1.13 average. And it went up to like $1.60. It like popped 45% and then pulled right back down. It was all the same candle. So I obviously did not have a fast enough finger to take the profits on that. I'm pretty much at break even on the Microsoft. I've got to say, I would be really shocked to see market just kind of slice back down, because not that it can't, and of course it could continue. I could do whatever, but more so the decisive where it bounced yesterday and what that means and how it was a decisive key bounce off of those October highs and the 0.5, guys, the 0.5 of, I'm talking massive range, the 0.5 of March lows to all-time highs. That's a massive bounce. That's a key ass level to bounce off of. So I'm not talking about today can't be bearish. I'm talking about overall market. I am trimming a little NVIDIA here. I am going to trim a little NVIDIA here, guys. Just because it's taking a little longer than I'd like. I mean, nothing crazy, about 35%, but I still just want to take a little off the bat here because, sorry, Microsoft. I don't know if I just said NVIDIA or Microsoft, but obviously you guys know I meant Microsoft because all I'm in. It's the only day trade I've taken yet. Yeah. $1.14 to $1.44. Of course, we had more. The candle I bought it, we popped up to $1.63, but it was way too quickly. Yeah, Microsoft. I do not have NVIDIA day trade. Only the swing. Only the swing. Yeah, yesterday's highs, coming out of earnings, holding this is pretty damn important. We're floating about 35%. I don't want to see a massive door slam. That would be unfortunate. It does look like it wants to pop, but we've got to protect our ass as well. Again, I'm in at $1.14. Yeah. Market's pulling it down overall. I think we'll see. But it is actually knifing while everything else pops. Very interesting. All right. Yeah, I'm cutting that, guys. Runners at break even, and we'll come back to it. 35% isn't ideal. I consider anything under 30% on a 0 DTE a loss as far as analysis, because we need follow through, or it does no good for anyone. So overall, didn't play through, but it checked every single box I was looking at for the trade, and it was holding yesterday's high a day, everything. And look at it knifing while NVIDIA absolutely pops. Interesting stuff. And NVIDIA's trying to pop, so we'll see overall. Will I retake Microsoft? Absolutely. I'm tempted to take it right the book here. I'm not going to, though. Google day trades suck. The contracts suck so bad. The spread is so bad. I quit trading it. But I do want to kind of see what Amazon is doing. Yeah. No, yeah, I get what you're saying. I just don't Okay, so we did hit on this candle back up 2 candles ago. I am about 100 seconds too late on this, but we did actually hit our short entry at 462. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a little late to the party on that. Sorry, 459. I had 459 as our short entry. Now, remember, on the upside, we did hit our 593 entry for 130 points. It was really nice. I'm going to delete some of that so our chart can look a little bit cleaner now, because we did hit 2 of those targets. I could remove that. There we go. All right. I could even remove that because we did create a higher high. So all we have is our 459 short. And that, I mean, insta 89 points there. Now, full disclosure, I did not take any NQ there. These were the levels I gave for the entry before market opened. And in the first 30 minutes, that means you buy at that level or you sell at that level. It's not like a confirmation, this, that, the other. These are the levels that you take action at. And there's 100 points on that, 110. And Microsoft's back to yesterday's high a day. I do believe that we get a very, very strong rip right here. $120 points on the short. An NQ. I mean, it's 90 points from when I mentioned it. It had only moved 30 points when I mentioned it 2 minutes ago as well. There's no bullshit, no anything, no flex. I did not take a freaking NQ short here. I gave our entry for longs. I gave our entry for shorts. It hit both. No back test candles, no question marks, no open hit, pulled back, hit, pulled. No, this was it hit. You take entry up 130 points here on the short after 130 point long that went straight up as well. I made $0 off that. I'm never going to take credit for a trade I do not take. Microsoft, Amazon does look good. I just want to make sure that the contracts have cooled off enough from earnings yesterday. But the Microsoft it should have a very strong break from here. Already 20% in the last minute and a half. There we go. Come on, let's rip it through this time. Don't catch me at a 30% with a rejection again. Just come on. Don't do it, Microsoft. Don't do it. There we go. There we go. Yep. There's 50%. If we could break through this high a day, we're absolutely going to rip. I do not want to see another door slam here where it's like, no, by the time you pulled the contracts up and bought them, I'm 50%. You're only 32%. You got to decide what you want to do with it. I hate that shit, guys. I want it just to break through here where I know everybody made a nice bag and we move on with our fucking day. That's what I want to see. NQ, if you did take the NQ short, I would be very close to probably cutting runners here. That's quite the bounce. NVIDIA cleared liquidity low a day and ripped off it. Right back up. Right back up. I actually have to flip the fibs though because we had a new range on the day. Let's find our 0.5. Here we go. All right. Like, I know some of it, like, it feels like we are getting a little bit of like in out, like a little jagged little edges on these trades, but we're going to stick with the charts that look good and the contracts that I like. And Microsoft looks good. NVIDIA looks good. That's just the reality of what's going on here. We ended up overall about 140 points on the NQ short, and that was right on the heels of a 130-point long without looking back at all. This was like you take your entry and there's no panic. There's no I draw down of 30 points before it ripped. Nothing. None of that. So just pay attention to the chart that makes sense for you guys. I hate Google's contracts. The spread, John, great trade. Love it. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, I'm done. I sold half of my Microsoft overall. We're just gonna wait and see what it does here. I mean, that first pop was like freaking 65% in 2 minutes, but I don't want the chop. I want it to rip through it now. Like we have to break high a day before pulling back to 0.25. I don't want the pullback here. Like it has to break through or it becomes exponentially shit. Just a reminder for the 2 people I gave away accounts to right at market open. If I don't get back to you today, DM me Monday morning. I will forget sometimes. Okay. I gave 2 free accounts to the first 2 people that popped in the stream because it was 2 names I'm very not too familiar with. So, and I appreciate they were in so early, ready to go. So early bird gets the worm sometimes, guys. Come on, Microsoft. Just let it loose here. Let it loose. This is our second breach of yesterday's high a day. This should be the confirmation move, guys. All the boxes are checked. No guarantees, though. Could be a double top and just a fade. We'll see. I'm not playing it as like buying into the high a day. I'm playing it as the second break of yesterday's high a day and the very bullish earnings run that held well. NQ still pushing down. Could unfortunately drag Microsoft with it. We'll see. If you had any NQ runners left, that was about 165 points short and still going. Yeah, come on, Microsoft. There we go. Come on. Give it to us. Let's go. There we go. 80%. I am down to 10. Let me fucking breathe. God damn. Hate that shit. There we go. Almost 100%. I hit 97%. 97% hit. Now, it might have popped above 100 and it just was so fast. I didn't see it. Now since shoot right back to, I don't even care. I got most of my profits off. That's what we wanted to see. Stop loss break even for my finals. I'm good. I wanted to at least get one attempted triple bagger on the day. First Microsoft, shitty ass 35%. Not good enough. Y'all know that I'm never going to hang my hat on a 30% fucking zero DTE trade, guys. Never. There we go, baby. 120%. Let's fucking go. We knew to come back to it, too. I cut it. I rebought. It is what it is. You know, I'm sorry if you cut it and you didn't rebuy. I'm sorry. I can't say much else past that. The analysis was there. Cheers. Thank you, Katie. I know. I was like, nope. The way it's holding while NQ is just tanking. Same with NVIDIA. It's like NVIDIA's got a handcuff on it. Amazon as well. Little double top here, higher lows. But I don't know if Amazon's had long enough coming out of the Lance Harmer. I would walk away for the day or only be willing to trade 20-25% of your profits. Like the rest, lock it up, take part of your profits and only trade with that or be done. Like truly. And if we do that daily, exactly. Fuck giving it back. It's not worth it, man. Small wins. Yep. Exactly. It's like, am I full or not? And you're at the buffet and you're like, am I full or not? And you go back when you're not sure if you're full or not. And you're like, I shouldn't have went back. Why the fuck did I go back? Yep. Exactly. And some people have had a tough month because there has been really great trades with good profits, but you have to be so concise with your trading. That's the thing. Like on a swing trade, if you're not taking profits at 50%, you know, it might been 50% is fantastic on something that doesn't expire for 6 months. And then maybe you don't take profits and then it's back to zero. Or you're like, oh, it'll pop back. And then you kind of like are left holding the back. And then the next swing trade doesn't work out at all. And it's red. So it could be like, okay, the first trade, I didn't take profits. I cut it break even, no loss. But then when the second trade doesn't work out at all, net red overall, even though, you know, like shit like that. It can be very, very, it can feel heavy. We've been in a very choppy market overall, guys. So, like it's smaller trading. I'm playing half positions. You know, you guys see freaking swings were a desert for the last week. So let's go. And the person who just DM'd me, love to see it. Hell yeah. That's awesome. Some people like to DM instead, and that's okay, you know. So, but like, yeah, like it's just, it can be just quite the quite the battle, guys. If stock trading was easy, if trading in general and day trading was easy, everybody would be rich. No one would ever lose money. And, it's not easy. It's not easy. Even the analysis, dare I say, is easy after a while. Like what you see in the charts is easy, but connecting the eyes with the finger and and not in reacting with what your eyes are telling you versus what your brain is whispering to you, it can be hard. So I think we keep going here on Microsoft. I have 10 left. I'm just kind of hanging out here. I was in about a dollar, and they're at $1.80 here. We did get a red candle though. That's unfortunate. I don't care. 130%, whatever. I don't even care. Stop and break even last couple, and we're good. Yeah. Nope. Yeah, you can't. Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Especially if you're like, I took the first and because this is what happens with a lot of people. Say you took the first entry, you didn't sell or trim it like that borderline 30%, and then you end up panic selling on the red for red, and then you don't take the second entry and you're pissed because you're overall net red on Microsoft. So then you're buying and you're chasing towards the top and you're up 20-25%, and now you're red again. And while you watch us in a 100% green trade and a 30% green trade, you're in two red trades. Like that, I see so damn much, guys. And that's the part where it's a really precision market right now. It's very much so a precision based market. And you got to be and that's why I almost over explain every single thing I'm doing with the trades, is because it's so finesse. You have to be so finessed with it. Amazon's still going here off that pre-market back test. Oh yeah. Yep. Exactly. Yep. Yeah. I like that as well. So now we will recalibrate here. We'll wait and see if Microsoft gives us something else. If anyone did take the Amazon back test of pre-market high, you should be up 40 to 50, 55% here. I would definitely be down to runners on that. I did not take that trade, but I did call it out. I cannot take every trade I talk about, guys. It's just not possible. And the video we're just kind of watching to see if this turns into some sort of a falling wedge that breaks bullish. Again, our swing trade hit 55-60%, and in these trading conditions, I'm taking that every damn time. Finals at break even. Love it. Yeah. So now, yep. So now we have hit all downside targets that I gave on NQ. We are at about 208 points on the short. Never back tested. Once we hit entry, never even went 1 point red. And have hit all downside entries. We hit 2 out of 3 upside entries. And then on the downside play, we didn't even include the first big part of this trade, unless you took, when we initially talked about it, when I talked about if we get that rejection and you take the long entry for a short, which was up here, but I'm not even going to count that. I'm just talking about our clean, straight bear entry. We are now at 230 points. Beautiful. And that's no fuss, no muss. Just take your trade and fucking chill. Yep. Yep. We're pretty much back down to where I took the entry in the first place. So, can we take it again at the break of yesterday's high? Sure. I mean, but I need to see, at this point, we need to see some market strength along with it. Obviously, Microsoft is holding much better than the market. We are hyper aware of that. We know what we're watching, those type of things. I'm going to turn off the Amazon chart here. I'm going to look at a couple others. Apple's had a chance to chill after earnings and kind of recalibrate around this 300. Let's see what else we got. Let me check Palantir. Kind of float around some of these charts and that's the thing, even if you only got 130% trade-off or whatever it might be, it's okay to be done with a smaller W that day. You know what I mean? Like, I know some larger accounts, like absorb the pullbacks on stuff and are able to kind of, let it play out and let the runners play out, those type of things. But in general, like, yeah, I'm good. I'm not in anything. I'm going to wait and see what Microsoft 0.25 does. Unfortunately, I missed the bearish put entry, or the bearish short entry on NQ. I'm okay with that though, because what I just played, I'm happy with. Yep. If anyone that I'm not talking to myself, everybody on X, Instagram, and YouTube members are talking in the Discord. If you want to know what they have to say, you have to come join the Discord. There's 300 points on our short right there, 300 points. No, I just wanted to let them know that I'm not talking to myself. 320 points. I mean, guys, come on. Even if you're a futures trader listening and you just want to get my key levels and my broad market overview 20 minutes before market open at 9 a.m. Eastern, you are going to make money. I think every single stream since I have started this, we have had at least one 200 point plus absolutely clean move. No chop, no in out, no 50 points of drawdown before it moves. I'm talking clean entry, zero drawdown, zero having to sweat it out while it goes red. Just clean AF entries. So even just for that is invaluable in my opinion. And the very first thing I said, I just want to reiterate, when I went on this morning, very first thing I said, we popped on this daily on NQ. And what did we talk about? Wow, we hit rejection right at the 0.25. But what we talked about was last week, I went over, I'm even going to flip this to the big chart so you all could see it. For all you late bloomers here, this arrow I drew last week. And I had said last week when we were up around 27,850, or excuse me, 28,500, right around here. I said if we were to lose this level here, we were going to shoot down to this key level of confluence right here. We talked about this 2 weeks ago, and I drew this arrow, and that's exactly where we bounced this week, almost to the penny right here. You can see it yesterday. And on top of that, that is also our 0.5 from our 23,273 lows, the lows from March to the all-time highs, exactly off the 0.5 there. Now, I know Jeremy, a couple other people like, listen, look at this epic dump, this, that, the other. Look at the epic green candle on NQ yesterday. So just saying, we ripped 3.5% on NQ yesterday. There's going to be selling after that, especially with the market we've had the last several days / weeks. In order to, we hit about that 10% pullback. We took that monster bounce right at the midpoint of our last breakup, just to reiterate, and we bounced right off the predetermined level that I gave 2 weeks ago, which is also this major confluence right here. That's how liquidity works, and that's how midpoint works as well. Midpoint and liquidity, it was a perfect example of both. So knowing those things in your trading is going to help you exponentially. Understanding the big parts of the market is going to help the small trading day in and day out, because it'll grow your confidence in taking the trades. Just saying. And that was about 350 points hit on that NQ short as well. 28,459 was our NQ short. Anyway, let's get back to the trades. I just want to reiterate like that plan of what we're going to do and what we talked about last week, and then again this week, and then the predetermined levels this morning. Just 20 minutes, we were totally prepped for a 140-point upside trade, and now a 340-point downside trade. Totally prepped. Actually, 360-point downside trade. Totally prepped for it. The entire way through. And then if it's charts that aren't looking good or anything, I'll just sit on my hands and not trade anything. Tesla had a beautiful short there. Also the calls, the break, it moved fast, but if you took calls right off the gate at the break of yesterday's high a day, it ripped 6 points. I'll bet that was well over 100% in those 5 candles. I bet it was well over 100%. I actually had a perfect short as well. And look at the liquidity draw on that Tesla loss of low a day at 845, and then the dump after that. Oh, that's a sexy dump. Yeah. Yeah. And it's so, and like, if you were bullish today, I was bullish today. It's okay to like, it popped, you make money. And then if it dumps and you're not prepped for a short, it's okay. It doesn't fucking matter. You made money. It's all good. You know what I mean? Like NQ yesterday, I just said it too. Yesterday, 3.5% on NQ, So like today being a sell-off after that, we're down right now. We're down less than 0.5%. We're down 1/3 of a percent on NQ overall on the daily. So like overall, like we see things as these massive, massive, epic shit in the moment. And then after the fact, you know, we go back to drawing board and we just kind of reevaluate. NQ is kind of back testing this sell-off channel that we on the daily for like the last 8 days. We're sitting there right now. Now, if we lose midpoint of yesterday, like 27,800, that's really where it starts to be like, what the hell? You know, because yesterday was, how many points was yesterday? I mean, Katie and I were on the phone in a meeting. We missed a lot of the push up in the afternoon because we were in a meeting. Low to high yesterday, 202 to 28,237. 1,000-point day yesterday, guys. Holy shit. 1,000 points, 1,200 points yesterday. So, you know, 400 points down after 1,200 points up makes sense. Makes sense. Does it mean I'm opening a bunch of swings? Hell to the no. Hell to the no, because it could keep going. We'll see. I don't know. Just big picture trading, guys, and then trading the small within it. You know, like the like taking the big picture stuff and prepping around that is really important. Because kind of the mega caps are moving like shit, other than like Tesla downside. I mean, I'm not watching all of them, of course, but see what Microsoft does here at the 0.5. I don't know. I just want to reiterate, like, don't chase into shit you're not prepped for, you know, those kind of things, guys. Yeah. It could. I don't make any claims to believe one way or another. Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, this is here just to put it into a comparison for you guys. All right. We, on a strictly algorithmic, logarithmic scale, we went from the 0.5 to the 0.25. So I'm talking a quarter of the entire move of the lows from March to the highs, all-time highs. We did almost a quarter of that move just yesterday in the bounce and then into today's high. So in the last 2 days, we did 20% of a full 3-month breakout. 20% of it in one day. So don't hop on an end of the world bandwagon, and don't hop on this is it, we're going to rip to the moon bandwagon. It's really undecided right now, though. But when we have one day that moves 20% of the full range of 4 months, the following day, can't chase into longs there, you know? It's kind of like shorts make sense. Just how much shorts? Where will the bounce be? What will we do from here? But as far as like longer term NQ, 28,500 flat, key level. And we're like 300 points below that. It's crazy. The range has been crazy. The volatility has been crazy for many, many days here. So was it a 1,250 point dead cat bounce? That would be fucking epic, wouldn't it? Isn't that crazy? That's crazy to me. I didn't realize it was that big of a zone yesterday because we were so cued into some big Discord stuff. I wasn't looking at the charts yesterday afternoon. We're at the 0.25 on NVIDIA. But overall, that's pretty damn epic. Yeah. Let's put a fibs on our zone for, and I'm talking Qs, but pull up QQQ. Same exact thing, guys. If you guys are options traders, everything NQ I'm talking about, pull up the Qs. So we're getting pretty close to, in fact, I'll pull it up. I'll pull it up. What chart do I, nah, I want to watch all three. No, fuck Tesla. I want nothing to do with Tesla today. So let's pull up Qs. All right, here we go. NQ and Qs stacked right on top of each other. Couldn't even sniff the 0.25. Let's see how it plays out. NVIDIA looks exactly like them. But let's look at the difference. All right, let's look here. We look for little hints of where we want to put our money. If we bounce or we don't bounce. We look for little hints. Obviously, I just took off the Tesla chart, but that was the bearish one, obviously. But let's look at these little hints. Look at this. Microsoft has not cleared opening print low a day, first of all. Secondly, while on Qs, it was straight down here. NVIDIA tried to hold. It was choppy, while Qs were straight down. That first half, the first half of the move. So that tells me NVIDIA is a little peppier. The bulls tried a little bit more there. You know, those things matter. And there we go. Look at the NVIDIA candle. BD energy candle right off that 0.25 into the 0.5. I don't know. I just, when it's kind of, we're not going to chase into long shorts here. So I would rather give you guys some big picture shit than stare at it, want to micro analyze it and be tempted to chase into horrible, shitty trades. Instead, I'll teach you something because I'm still looking for trades. But I'm gonna go over some broad picture analysis instead of like, let's micro analyze every fucking candle on the 1 minute chart and force trades, because then the trades start to actually look good. And what I've seen in the last couple weeks in my inbox is a surgence of over trading and really hurting accounts. Like Katie and I had a long talk yesterday about a lot of different stuff, and like, you know, I'm always going to be heavily focused on safety over, let's find another trade. What are we looking at? What are we going to do? Okay, let's prep it. Oh my God. Google earnings. Google earnings had, yeah, I mean, dump a lot of times good earnings. Google had good earnings. Good earnings, gap down like that. I'm disappointed in myself. I didn't have a swing trade set up for the bounce off this 200, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, it looks like Google's ready to party hardy. Holy shit, am I disappointed I missed that on Google. Damn, guys. Stupid vacation last week. Guys, is that out of Amajam a fucking swing trade 101? Come on. Damn vacations. I'm never taking a vacation again. Because F that. I missed the swing trade that I would have normally seen. All right. Anyway, yeah, Google, we are now on the daily, breaking back above the 0.5 off of the 271 to 408 range. Gap down from earnings got filled a couple days ago. We had the back test of the 0.25 yesterday. And what's interesting and kind of what almost Jer's talking about too, look at this. Yesterday, red day on Google. Wow. We just showed you what the fuck NQ and Qs did yesterday. So Google is very inverted right now. I mean, exactly opposite on the daily of what NQ's been doing. So that is interesting. Good insight there, Jer. But it's massive bull flag, breaking the midpoint right now on Google. Here's the chart. In case you're not watching the stream, I'll put the chart in the chat. Well, here's all four. This is the Google daily right here. No, but yeah, Jeremy, you're right. It's kind of pulling the Apple. But Apple just had earnings yesterday, so we're going to get some profit taking and everything else. That Google, I'm like 3 days too late. I'm a little disappointed. I got to be honest. That is like a Amma Jamma extravaganza right there. Perfect 0.25 rejection on the Qs. Because I'm not day trading Google. Let me pull up Microsoft. I want nothing to do with day trading Google. Hate the contracts. Microsoft break of 456 could get interesting if the market starts to pop that 0.25. What time is it? 9:25. Y'all got a way too much free shit, free insight on X and YouTube. So with that being said, I have free link in my bio for a trial for the Discord. We gave away a couple accounts right at the beginning today. So if you were late, you missed out. And I'll be back Tuesday. Same bad channel, same day, same time. Again, just a little recap of what we hit today. I personally bought Microsoft. We had 2 trades, 35% and 120%. I gave exact entries for NQ long, 130 points. NQ short was, my God, what was it? 400 points, almost exactly, 380. And then NVIDIA was a swing. We did not day trade it. So that's pretty much it. But a couple really big trades and leaving you with 456.09 if we could break that level for possible Microsoft calls if we get the Qs and NQ above the 0.25. If not, I expect the selling to slow. And we'll see from there. Thanks, guys. Love y'all. And don't forget that use code Honeycomb on FFF, Lucid, and Tradeify for the biggest discounts they are offering right now. Show us some love. Code Honeycomb. I will see you guys later.